Well, ahoy-hoy, and welcome back to last week. Rockstar finally announced that there'll be a new GTA Grand Theft Auto coming out very soon. 9 years after GTA 5, their biggest hitting game after 3 generations of consoles, 9 years. Rumours are they'll be coming back onto straw in the UK. Be here in the UK, it'll go basically into a spiritual home of Scotland, where the game is basically based. Former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani has been found out to be on the US Masked Singer. It was apparently unveiled on their first episode. I'm really curious to actually see what costume they've got, because if it isn't spray can, then they've definitely messed up somewhere. And in kind of surprising news, Facebook's daily active users has fallen for the first time in 18 years. I'm surprised people still use the platform since Farmville went off. It's now time for a break. Stick around and I'll be talking about Boris and how long he has till he gets kicked out of office. Subscribe, please. Welcome back. As part, I wanted to talk about Boris Johnson and basically the fact he might be having to be kicked out before the end of the month. And this isn't me just going, really hoping, come on, and praying that Conservatives do the right thing for the first time in ever. But people are starting to hand in letters of no confidence to the 1922 committee. And what this committee is, for those who may be unaware, it's the Conservatives' MP's home place. Basically, whenever they get a leader, if they're not very happy with them, they vote through there, say they want to get him removed, they need at least 54, and they have to trigger a vote of no confidence. And why is this? Quite hilarious. Well, one, he deserves it. He deserves to be kicked out. I've found out more and more since we did our first story, actually. It was about Boris and the parties. He's had more. He keeps having more. He's had more parties than anyone did last year. And now he's actually getting kicked out. This actually could happen, and it is very, very good. Because we need a leader who is going to support it. The problem is, who do we have in waiting? Who's going to be there? Who's going to be taking us through the rest of this pandemic and be leading our country on the world stage in this next stage of possible even war, depending with how Russia goes? Let's look at our options. Firstly, we have the man who parties in Scotland, Michael Gove. Former Education Secretary, he also did environmental, and at the same time, he's a bit of a prick. But I can say that for all of them in fairness, but you go with it. Matt Hancock, he's been rumoured to be going for a spot for leadership. Why? Because I think he thinks everyone now really respects him for cheating on his wife during lockdowns, which is an odd thing. It's an odd thing to go, yeah, I am respected, so I'm going to run for parliament. You know why? Because I cheat on the daily. No. No one looked at those pictures and went, Matt Hancock, legend. No, didn't happen. We've also got a few outsiders. We've got the Chancellor, actually, Rishi Sunak. And the thing is, Rishi Sunak, he was loved right at the start. It's like, oh my god, he's so good. He's a brilliant Chancellor. The problem now is, if you've looked at the news, you've also seen about energy bills have been rising. He's also now said, oh yeah, everyone gets £200 off. We have to pay £40 a year for the next 5 years. You're just loaning. Call it what it is, Ricky. Call it a loan. But you have all these different contenders. And let's be honest, it's mostly just going to be a man. We have a chance there is going to be an outsider we've never heard of. But my feeling it'd be one of these people. Sajid Javid is my outsider choice. I don't know whether he really wants to go for another run. The one we're all fearing, though, is Priti Patel. Why are we fearing Priti Patel? Well, just have a look at her record as Home Secretary. She has been doing, what's that? Deporting like it's no one's business, when it's everyone's business, of course. But the thing is, and let's be honest, it will have a leadership election. And this is how it went for May, and how it goes for any time you change a leader, really midway. Boris had the same. They'll have a leadership election, they'll change their leader, and in the next year, they don't have to legally, but they will come under public scrutiny they will have to call for a general election. And that is where everything will matter. I'll make so many videos of that if that happens, because that's where everything starts to get going, starts to all get the juicy bits. Because if a general election happens, depending if you like your polls, the polls are pretty much suggesting that Tories go downwards, Labour are going up. Maybe not enough to actually overdo it, but to a point where we can wipe the majority they currently have out of Parliament, which would be very interesting, because that is very, very much needed. But I'm curious, what is your thoughts? Who would you want to be the next Prime Minister of the UK? Obviously, it's currently be Conservative, but we'll see with time. But if you have enjoyed, feel free to hit subscribe down below. It really does help. And I'll see you later.